we're back again. Clicked in, same crew, same friends. DJ Cryptomatic in the chair. Papa Bona, we are near. Hey! 4 years, same thumbnail picture. Chat scrolls fast as a crew rolls richer. Late nights, charts bright. Pulsechain dreams and a budget life. I was lost in a sea of maybe. Found this show, not a game, don't faze me. Hey! What the hex? We've been here a minute. Same bad jokes, new blocks every visit. Hey, you guys is yellow with the fam. Click that link, let it run, let it jam. What the heck? From the first weird stream to a Pulschain, pop in a bull run dream. We don't flex, we just press go live. What the heck? What the heck? We ride, yeah, 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 yeah. What the heck? We ride, yeah, 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 yeah. DJ laughing at his own one-liners. Papa Bona with the treasure reminders. Replay crew in the comments laughing. I was right here when that clip was captured. Timestamp legends, inside mentions. OGs teaching all the fresh extensions. Toby wanted shot the roof. Fractals on display showing the way. Peter from Slovakia limit all the frustration the mix. But we push through, no time for tricks. What the hex? We've been here a minute. Same bad jokes, new blocks every visit. Hey, you guys is yellow with the fam. Click that link, let it run, let it jam. What the hex? From the first weird stream to a Pulschain, pop in a bull run dream. We don't flex, we just press go live. What the hex? What the hex? We ride, yeah, yeah, yeah. What the hex? We ride, yeah, yeah, yeah. What the hex? What the hex? We ride. Oh, just slow and a final beat. Crew forever can't be beat. With the X, yeah, that's all called Pulschain family, we stand tall. Hey! Prove X, force X. What the heck?
What the hex is you guys talking about?
What the hex is going on, ladies and gentlemen?
Okay, who put Pulsechain on a Times Square billboard? You win.
Well, hello, buy pressure.
When Bob's.
Yeah, so hipsters, they shop at Goodwill. They shop at thrift stores.
What the heck?
Jane Street can go suck a fat one. Jane Street hired Soy Bankman-Fried before he went and did FTX. Jane Street got kicked out of India for market manipulation and rigging. Yes, the whole country of India kicked them out. They're absolute scum. But also, man, we need some big fat green candles to pump us in crypto.
Rebuild trust. Let's talk about rebuild trust. Go look at the charts that you guys made with your selling, okay?
And we are joined with the lovely Rags to Riches and, of course, my co-host, Westcott. How are y'all doing?
Oh, I'm great. I'm bawling in this bitch. It's great.
I am. Yeah, exactly.
Har. Heart, mate. Heart.
Guys, I gotta make this quick. My Walmart shift starts in about 20 minutes. DJ Cryptomatic, shout out. Actually, I don't like any of you, and please do not like, comment, or subscribe. Goodbye.
What the heck?
What the heck's profundity bats brasta boy?
Guys, if you can hear me, my
Yes,
mic
sir.
went out for some reason.
Brandon,
See if I
welcome
can
to
get
the
you guys
show.
back.
Yes.
Hello?
I'll be right back. Put me back in here. Hold on.
You have to make a number 2? Okay.
All right.
Number 1.
There you had it, guys.
Wash
that
your
was
hands
Brandon
afterwards before you come back, please.
from the Rex to Riches channel.
How you doing, positive folks?
Yes.
Who is positive? Who?
Brandon is back.
That was quick.
Did I miss what the hex?
You did. We're done. It's
Show is
over.
over, man. Show
Oh,
is over.
man. What's going on, guys?
Brandon, where are you streaming from? You streaming from studio number 3?
I'm
Isn't it-
Studio Starbucks. That's where I'm streaming from.
Not the Waffle House. That would have been funny.
I
have
thought
to
about
say-
it. Yeah.
I have to say, Brandon, we rarely had so many likes and retweets on just the announcement that you would come to the show today. So you gotta talk to the people, man. People are wanting to see, wanting to hear you. The question is, though, you always say don't like and retweet and don't follow. Can you maybe do the same thing? And people do, but can you do the same thing with the HEX token? Like, can you say don't buy HEX, and then people might just do it?
I mean,
Out of spite.
they're not going to buy any chart right now, much less hex, I guess.
Oh,
Everything's wrecked, man.
it's
Speaking
terrible.
of red
terrible.
candle, that red hair of yours is blinding me. But I do see some gray that's starting to come into your jawline there.
No.
No?
I use peroxide toothpaste in it, and it
I
messes my beard up. Yeah.
I was going to ask for
What?
the damage that the peroxide does. Normally, I see like beard dye on the shelves. It's all different shades of darker colors. I've never seen a ginger color dye. How do you get it to be red again? You eat a cherry pie or something and just
It's
be
called
messy
it's
about
called
it?
it's called time travel, and that doesn't exist right now. So,
Nice.
but
Nice.
they discriminate against gingers when it comes to hair color and beard color. I've noticed
know.
that. Yeah.
Are you a natural ginger? I mean, do the curtains match the carpet, or
Burning
do you just-
bush, Mount Zion,
Nice,
100%.
nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Twig-
100%.
What the
Twig-
heck?
Twig in the fire. All right, cool.
I get that question more often than you'd think.
Really?
Now, typically it only happened after 11 p.m. at dive bars 10 years
I
ago,
know.
but
And
yeah.
they're mostly men is the problem.
At the gym.
Depending on the venue, yes.
You get cruised. Does your wife your wife doesn't ask you anymore, does she?
She doesn't ask me. She knows at this point. I don't know how she
Oh.
knows, but yeah.
You have lights on sex? That's awesome.
I will not go down that road because she could watch this, but
I see. Okay.
Yeah,
Family friendly show. Okay.
Hello,
Papa-
Mrs.
Papa-
Rex to
Papa
Riches.
Boners.
Nobody watches this.
Nobody, it's a nobody friendly show.
Because I shit talk everyone, so
It's actually not true. With the superstar guest here, we have 50 people watching right now, out the gate across all channels. Let me say hi to.
it's only 27.
Let me say, no, that's just the one channel. We're streaming 3 ways right now. Let me say hi to the chat. DJ and Doggy, that's one of your loyal followers and viewers. With the Wenbobs is first. We got the J6 House tuning in. Good to see you. Bit Finesse complaining about the long intro as per usual. But that reggae song was kind of nice, huh?
It was very nice. The reggae version was pretty catchy.
I'm
mean
getting
the
the
AI
hang
reggae?
of this AI Suno stuff. Have you fiddled with that, Brandon, yet? The Suno? Because it gives you
I
the
have.
lyrics, it gives you everything, and it's so easy.
Yeah, I messed with I think it's called 11 Labs. You can train your voice.
Right.
So I could do long monologues or videos without having to actually be there, which is nice. But
Nice.
I never used it live. Yeah.
Also, it'll be your voice then. Oh, that's what we need. We need Papa B's voice to do the reggae version of the what the
Sure.
hex.
There you go. That'll be great. Everyone will
my
love that.
voice.
Yeah, Peter the complainer.
That'll go
anthem.
viral.
And
We need something to go viral.
DJ, you
right
know
here.
what's the
Yeah.
best thing about that AI stuff is?
Hmm.
That you burned 600 barrels
Yeah.
of oil just to generate this song.
Guilty for the RAM prices there. Hex Wizard
And the
is
RAM
here.
prices, of course.
Yes, Mr. Narco Mescu from Poland. Good to see you, Sandy Beach. And Hex on Air tuning in on the Twitch side of things. Hex Monkey, how dare you say I'm positive? I never said that.
We take it back.
Take it back. Tam checking in. Tam was looking forward to seeing Brandon here today. Papa B is starting to cry. Oh my God, what a show. Matty Lambo.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
Duke of Booze. Check out the Giving Tree.love from Duke of Booze. That's our new streaming portal for your latest and best Hex streams. Check it out, you guys. All right, Brandon, where do we go? Man, there's so much going on right now. Like, I don't even know where to start. This Jane Street thing, maybe we get this topic out the way first. I always, we always say this is a highly manipulated market in crypto, but damn, like that my timeline has been full yesterday with tweets about this topic. There's this maybe a good entry is this one here. Let me just bring that up. Is this 10 a.m. market coordinated
You
market
haven't
dump?
noticed, DJ, that when the markets open, it's just death?
Not like that, but they contribute basically all the major dumps that we had in the recent months and years, going all the way back to 2022 with the FTX situations, to this one firm named Jane Street, who have their market maker bots, and they do what we always thought these people would be doing, like they short the market. No, they have another account on Coinbase in their grandmother's maiden name and dump the price, and on their main exchange at the same time they're shorting the market. So that way they're winning both ways. I think in a nutshell that is kind of what was happening here, but of course on a ginormous scale, and that had the whole
ain't nobody going to
Twitter in
jail
uproar.
over this. You know that, right?
No,
There
because
ain't
it's crypto.
It's crypto, and
you
there's
can do that shit.
we don't have a market structure bill passed yet. There's no illegality to this at all.
But
if
like
they were
they're
to
doing it with
broadcast
billions.
Yes,
of
but
them,
if,
so,
if
like, on
it's
a
found
serious
that they also fund some kind of campaign to broadcast movements to the market or promote things on the market, that could be true criminal activity. But right now, if they're quiet about it, thank you,
They deleted
everyone.
their whole Twitter. Brandon, what do you make of this?
Yeah, so this, I guess, hit my desk a couple days ago, and the first thing that I thought about was you've got Bitcoin, which daily volume right now, and it's pretty depressed, is sitting around $30 billion to $35 billion per day.
Yeah.
And then I started looking at the amount of money that Jane Street was playing with, and these guys, they're playing like $200 million daily volume with regards to crypto. That's their trading account, not their market making account. And I started thinking, like, what is that, like 0.5% or less of total daily volume is attributed to Jane Street. So I said, I'm not sure if they have enough firepower to be able to really manipulate the markets the way that some of the Bitcoin bros are talking about here. And then I kind of zoomed out and took a look at it deeper. And a lot of this has to do with, the Terra Foundation is looking for a fall guy. And I think that Duquan is also trying to find a way to drive a wedge of doubt and potentially try to find a way to wiggle itself out of prison. So maybe this is a means to that end. So, I just don't think, mathematically speaking, that it's possible for Jane Street to be able to take over the entire Bitcoin market in such a way where they're crashing Bitcoin price every morning at 10 a.m. and then buying it up later. But that's just kind of my opinion on it.
I did some looky-looing as well, and And I thought about, I mean, that's a great point, right? You're like, oh, it's only 0.5% of the daily volume. However, I mean, of the wallet that you took a look at, right? But the market making idea is to kind of outdo on a micro per transaction level. So I think that they've got such speed and such commitment to it, and they've kind of wired into the psyche of the normal Wall Street trading, that I think that they are doing that type of thing. I back in 2013, 2014, I was back then in actually working in Hong Kong, trying to do some security for their biggest trading house, the securities house, and on the platform they wanted us to get some security around their trading console, and on that they said we want some stuff put in for actual crypto trading, and we said, is that a thing? It's like, what are you talking about? Oh yeah, we need Bitcoin, and we need to ensure that our capacity is such that we can't get an attack coming in to DDoS anything, that we could stop the shorting of this stuff. And I'm like, I had never even gotten into anything. It was the first time I heard about Bitcoin in the mainstream. They were wired in from early days. So if that's the case, these guys are one of many that are doing the same thing.
That's a very good point. That's another point I should have made, which is, Jane Street's going to be the fall guy for this, whatever is happening, but everybody's doing it. And there's a lot of really naive people that are new to crypto and new to finance and traditional markets. This happens every day. They just got caught this time. Everybody does it.
What I found a bit weird about this thing yesterday, that I'm showing some of the tweets here while we are talking, that all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, every crypto influencer on the X all of a sudden had a story ready and was like, I've been saying this for months, but yet in the weeks before we have never heard about this. So like very much coordinated that this all comes out on the same day in the same moment. Then of course the market reacts, and Bitcoin had, I think, a $5,000 pump yesterday in one nice green candle. Today some of that reversed again a little bit. That makes me feel a little bit dodgy, that it's like maybe really some cover up, or maybe there's more to it than what we see here on the.
I thought about that, and I said, this is, if Bitcoiners were P Dyers, that's what this would be.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very good point. That's
so
apropos. Yes.
Yeah, there's always a reason. There's always a narrative. And ultimately, like, I haven't checked the Bitcoin chart today. What's it doing today?
It's
Toby will get to it.
It's reversing a little bit.
It's minus 0.31%.
High or low?
No, I had this chart up because I wanted to, that's like a weekly chart here. And I wanted to make the point at some point in the show that this is the 200 MA moving average 200-day on the weekly chart, which is supposed to be the barrier, and we almost touched that at the last drop. And everybody is kind of expecting Bitcoin to still reverse down to this number, which is currently sitting at 58. But it looked yesterday that the market, if we go to a smaller time frame, like a 4-hour chart, it looked as if, with this run up all of a sudden yesterday, that we wouldn't make that move, but kind of pump from here, and that the bottom was in fact in. But today it's not looking as convincing. Like, we are not following through on this
bull
pump.
Flag.
So we might very well
in a downtrend
go back, are still in the downtrend, and we still might hit that target of the 200 MA sort of as a bottom, or even
biggest bull flag in history.
Wick below that, even if it's just for a short, short-lived thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, to me, it seems like it's narrative chasing.
Yeah.
And all these people for the past, 18 to 24 months, the Bitcoiners, they've just been rubbing it in everybody's face. All the institutions buy, all the billionaires buy, and it pumps, hits roughly 120K, and it's just been falling off since. And all these people, all these influencers, they got people to answer to now.
Yeah.
It's the same story. And they're just looking for an excuse.
Yeah, because
and
all
Jane
of them,
Street's the fall guy.
All of them had like higher targets. Some were saying at least 150 and
Yeah.
180K, and then all of a sudden we didn't make it past the 120, which is double the last cycle all-time high. So it was kind of in everybody's face, but nobody really caught that. And so you could be right. Another thing here with this is that Zero Hedge, the Zero Hedge account, he has been posting a lot about this. He says that everybody should be careful because Jane Street is also one of the largest silver holders.
Silver, yeah.
Yeah.
Lol.
And we had this crazy run up in gold and silver in the past 6 months. So that this might also have been, which looks very much artificial pumpery. Like, why should this pump like a shitcoin out of nowhere? He's thinking there's more manipulation to come.
If you think Bitcoin is manipulated, sorry, Brandon. Just
no, please.
One thought from me. Imagine the oldest market on Earth. There are billion, gazillion derivatives of, and it's gold. And that market pumped the fucking shit out of itself since August 25. It made, I don't know, 2x or how much?
Yes.
It's the amount of economic energy you need to push this market up. Is fucking crazy.
Yes.
Manipulating Bitcoin, I don't think that's a problem for any of these institutions.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, they did it. I mean, go ahead.
No, please.
I'm done.
Peter has one thought per week
per show.
We really want to
that was it.
him to voice it. Yeah.
I think Peter made a very, very good point. And this is another thing that's being pulled over people's eyes. For that period, the past 2 years, you had all the major institutions, the BlackRocks, ARK 21s, all these folks buying up Bitcoin so they could have a paper trading business. And they were pumping hundreds of millions of dollars into this thing. I think over the course of past 24 months, the total accumulated trading volume off of just those shares is just insanity. It's like $3 or $4 billion that they've personally put in, it's actually higher, 6 billion or 9 billion. So it takes a tremendous amount of economic energy to go from $1 trillion market cap to 2 trillion, or from 2 trillion to 4 trillion.
Yeah.
So when everybody says buy Bitcoin, you're going to be rich, I'm like, do you understand what it takes to get to the numbers that you guys are talking about? And guess what? Just about everybody is purchased.
Yeah.
So it's, they really screwed the little guy because all these people are lying to them. And really the little guys just exit liquidity for the big guys at this point. Just feels like.
Yeah, Hex Monkey has a great comment here that I wanted to highlight, and I actually had the same thought this afternoon when we have yet another big firm, kind of like the FTX or the Celsius now is Jane Street, being out there scamming and grifting and manipulating the whole thing. And he says, Jane Street, the latest of so many scams and grifts, screwing everybody. And yet Richard Hart, Hex and Pulschain is hated and gatekept. Like they still call us the scammers.
But Hex Monkey, it's for a reason. Because
6 years in.
It's because Richard's fat, because he's a fat fuck. That's why. That's all there is. That's all there is. There is no logic to it because he's fat. That's all I can say.
Don't founder shame him, please.
So it's true. I mean, he's a scammer. He paid
no, he's not.
$500. He lost in court. He paid $500 as a.
Oh, that's right. That's true. He didn't show up and he paid
$500
fine. That's true. Yes. Okay.
The Spam King allegations.
Spam King is good. Yes.
He's a scammer because he hurt everybody's feelings. That's why he's a scammer.
He hurt my feelings too. So,
well, that's an interesting conversation to have. You know, if you slapped somebody else's face on that body and he wasn't nearly as abrasive, then people might be more open and accepting to Pulsechain. But on the downside, you don't get the marketing power that you do being nice, which is kind of the point that I think he's made time and time again as well.
Yes.
So, but when you boil it down, one of the reasons that I'm still in Pulsechain is because we're not in bed with VC money. And in fact, it sounds like every opportunity that Richard had to go that route, he shut down pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I can list some examples of that, but yeah.
Oh, please do. Please do.
No, but that's where I see
the Saudis.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You know,
that's where eventually people will see the true value in this DeFi thing. That, as you said, no VC is harder for government to control this because Ethereum, I think, is totally corrupted. They can just pause and censor transactions, do all kind of stuff. You know, the others like Solana, etc., can be shut down at a push of a button, and there has to be value to these features. And I think that's why we are absolutely in the right place. It's just a question, when will the broader population realize that? And what do we have to do to get that message across to people?
I think a lot of the heavy lifting is going to be done when the crypto markets turn around. And I know that sounds like a cop-out. Everybody says, oh, that's BS. But that brings people in. People get that amnesia about what happened for the past 4 years when they're up a 10x or a 50x or 100 or 1,000x. Nobody cares.
Right.
So it's just a brutal bear market, and everybody's looking for somebody to blame, which makes sense because there's a lot of wrecked people. And, you know, they don't understand the crypto game, which is you buy when it's on fire sale and you sell at the top or close to it, and you make your money in the bear market at the very bottom. I've seen it so many times. Well, gingers are fair to blame, but because we can take it.
As the ambassador of those people, when moon, sir, what does this market look like? It's different this time, yes. And what do you make of it? And when do we come out of it? And when do we all start to forget about the red candles and go to green candle euphoria again?
There's a lot in that question, and I don't really tend to talk about the crypto markets too much when I answer that question. So I started pulling up the Amazon chart 3.5 years ago, especially when institutions really started getting excited. I said, I think the total crypto market cap is going to look like Amazon's chart over the next 30 years. And I think it's going to be, instead of parabolas, blow off tops, I think it's just going to be a steady grind to the upside. People get chopped up and bigger people take their supply, and it just gradually moves upwards. That's what it feels like to me. So coupled with, you've got Donald Trump as president of the United States, and the markets do not like uncertainty, and he represents uncertainty in the world right now.
Oh yeah.
Will that change at some point? Will things smooth out towards the latter half of his presidency? Potentially. But the fact remains, people are prepared for volatility right now, and their guards up. So you don't have the drunkenness of forever inflation or as much, which causes people to ape into risk assets. Crypto's a risk asset, and I think it's just going to be a steady grind. The people that are here for the long term and they're just being smart emotionally with their buys, they're just buying the chart up at the bottom. I think it's going to take a little bit longer, but they will be rewarded, in my opinion.
But do you think the cycle theory is still in play, that was in fact the top with the 120K, or is there a chance, in your opinion, that we might still see a turnaround this year?
Yeah.
But it's depending also on like the world and Iran and all these kind of
I think I think the biggest driver of the cycle theory was the fact that these mining companies had to pay for their overhead when the market started pushing up.
Right.
I think they would start the run up and then they would dump the heck out of Bitcoin and ETH and these others to be able to pay for the next 4 years during the halving. They're, they either have to buy a brand new fleet of machines, brand new, or they have to just multiply the existing hash boards that they have to keep up with the Bitcoin, hash rate.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of it has to do with those companies selling. But here's what's interesting: as the Bitcoin block reward decreases, like who's going to pick up those mining companies? Who's going to pick up the pieces? And one of the theories out there is, well, BlackRock owns 5% of every publicly traded Bitcoin mining company out there, 5 to 10%. So they'll probably just pick that up and push the market up to make those small Bitcoin rewards more valuable. The other idea is energy companies start getting into Bitcoin mining because they have extremely low overhead. Nuclear power, for example, it's difficult to store nuclear power. So the stuff that they don't use just kind of gets wasted. So what if they could just divert a portion of that to a Bitcoin mining facility and they're mining at almost no cost?
Yeah.
So there's a lot to be said about the markets. I think the mining companies were driving those blow off tops, and they're going to become more and more irrelevant, I guess, as Bitcoin gets distributed out more and more as time goes on here.
Right. Gingers don't have souls and refuse to answer the great question.
That's true. I was going to say the same thing.
I didn't refuse. I just didn't reject it. Maybe I believe it.
What are your observations from the community at the moment? Because you've been around here for many years. Last week was a bit sad to see Hex Siren, aka Grace. I'm sure you came across that when she was kind of not thrown in the towel because she's not selling. She still has her Hex stakes, but like very demoralized about all this house money that I put in, maybe over leveraged, which, many of us always said that people should not be doing, but many of them did and really believed and trusted this whole thing that the last 4 years would have been more successful. But it turns out it's still a longer wait. And we see more and more of that at the moment, sort of this capitulation phase right now of people who've been here for quite some time. What do you think about that? And do you observe that as well?
I do observe that. And I contrary to popular belief, redheads actually have a lot of empathy, Papa Boner. So
Here.
I'm sorry. Continue. I love the jokes.
I've got a lot of empathy.
Matters.
Yeah, I've got a lot of empathy for these people because I know how they feel. I felt the same way. I almost threw in the towel in previous cycles because I got so wrecked because I over leveraged and I didn't understand how the crypto markets worked. Now, the piece of advice that I'm going to give to people is going to piss everybody off, which is keep buying. I don't know what else to say. I know it sounds crazy, but you don't have to buy a lot. The markets are so wrecked right now that it's going to take a fraction of the amount of money once they start pushing back up to get back where you were and break even. It's just mathematically true. So, and I would also suggest to people who have kind of crashed out, and I feel for them. I'm not making fun of these people. I would suggest you not sell your bags. I would suggest if you want to walk away, keep your bags and come back in 5 years and see what happens.
Yeah.
At this point, we're whenever, 3 years, 2 years, a year, but just don't sell it. Just walk away and go live your life. And you could come back, and I think you'll come back. You'll be a much happier camper than you are now. So I empathize with these people deeply. I don't make fun of them. These are real people with real lives, and they have really high expectations, and it's tough. It's just tough on people. So that's kind of my thoughts on it.
Yeah. But how are you yourself, how are you holding up? Because, you used to stream a couple of times a week doing your porch musing with Rags2Riches. Will that come back? Because people really enjoyed that.
Wait, hold on. Look at the context, DJ. I think it speaks volumes. He's in a Starbucks ordering a small coffee and camping out there until closing.
I live in my car in the parking lot.
Benefiting of the free Wi-Fi, yes.
Totally.
Yeah. So I take a little bit of a different approach, and I always encourage people to do that. I've looked at the landscape. Everybody's wrecked, but I noticed that people were still building stuff.
Yeah.
And I know that 9 times or 8 times out of 10, if you try to build something, you're going to get screwed by the developers somehow. They're going to put something funny in the code. They're going to play games of liquidity. They're going to gouge you on price or whatever the case may be. And I said, seems like the Pulsechain community and any community out there needs a solid builder that they can trust. So I went that road. I launched buildthetech.com in August of 2024. And we've done pretty well during this bear market. We've stayed very steady with work, very, very blessed. And I think we've brought 35 projects to market across many, many different chains. And we've had no exploits, and customers are very happy. And Pulsechain, I tell people, if you're settling a new land, you need people to provide different services for the community. You go out west, you need a plumber, you need somebody to deal with the horseshoes, you need this, that, and we're a place where you can come and build and not have to worry about getting absolutely screwed. And that's kind of what I built that brand around. And we've also been able to take the company and build additional infrastructure. So that's where Switch comes in. We've got a legit limit order system coming out. We have a network of, we call them operators, very similar to solvers on CalSwap. Anybody can be an operator in the Switch network, and you can, make the excess of whatever whatever order you execute, which is cool. And we're very transparent, very open, and we've got some substantial stuff coming out here very soon, like within the next, hopefully, couple weeks, maybe a month. Right. So, I'm just building, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I believe that these things are going to turn around. I think that the time horizons are longer, but I'm not going to have any regret by trying, even if it doesn't work out the way that I want. I would rather do it than not do it and feel bad for it later.
Yeah. I mean, a very prominent other aggregator is Piteus. Do you know what the differences are between yours and them?
Yeah.
Besides their slight cockiness sometimes on the X, although I like their product, I have been using it
Sure.
a lot before Switch came around.
Yeah. So
we don't
Switch had
swap, we switch.
Right. Yes. Switch doesn't have a token. Switch didn't have an ICO.
Yes.
I think that in terms of the way that Tejas operates compared to Switch, we're almost identical at this point. Obviously, I think that we're a little bit better now. We pushed some pretty substantial updates. Switch fees are very transparent as well. And I'm not, please don't mistake me. I'm not trying to throw shade at Tejas. I don't like doing that to anybody. Tejas has a different fee structure than we do. We're just a flat 0.3% on any single trade. And Tejas has something similar to kind of like CalSwap, where you can keep the surplus of whatever trade that you find. And that can be a 0.5% fee, or that can be a 5% fee after all said and done. Ultimately, the customer's taken care of, which is fine. But I just wanted it to be verifiable on chain, no questions, 0.3% flat, check the code. And we have the fastest order execution now. We added our RPC. And just generally speaking, tax tokens on Pulsechain were a really big thing a while back. We've got auto tax token detection. So if you put a tax token in there, it'll detect that it's a tax token. It'll auto adjust the slippage for you. It'll execute the order without you having to jump through all these crazy hoops and trying to figure it out. And then when the order's done, it sets your slippage back to 0.5%. It's pretty standard.
Yeah.
So
that was one that we talked about a lot on the back end, that, with the tax tokens, because I really sometimes struggled when I wanted to get into a project that I had to really with Pulse X. It's very hard to get it right. And then you know, it sometimes works with, you know, these other dexes, but you really have this worked out that it auto adjusts to the slippage that a certain tax token needs to get in and out, so that the layman sort of can easily use it and buy up these tokens, which is very cool.
DJ, is this something that works in conjunction with what we covered last week, or is it kind of, you know, Xjita's thing?
Oh, Agrax?
Yeah.
That's something. Yeah, that is kind of. Actually, we spoke about that too on the back end. That Xjita has now built this OTC marketplace. I don't know if you had a chance yet to look at that. Of course, the volume is very low because that's really a grassroots thing that literally launched on our show last week on Thursday. So the word has yet to get around and people have to use it. Then I'm sure if it's successful, the order books will thicken and there will be more. But of course, it would be nice if your aggregator could route through these placed orders as well. So in that way, it is
the cool thing about that a substantial portion of that code is code that my developers had created, and they kind of took that code and they improved upon it. And I think that OTC is pretty cool. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's Quick Swap on Ethereum is an OTC desk, and not desk, but OTC DEX, and they've done billions of dollars worth of volume dating back pre-2020. And it's nice because if you have a buyer on one side and a seller on the other side, you're not going to have slippage, which is cool.
Right.
And aggregators such as myself or Proteus or anybody else, they can point and check to see if there's some really good deals on those OTCs. So, you know, that's something that we can integrate. We've integrated Pulsex, we've integrated Tide. Anywhere where there's liquidity, we look for the best prices for customers, and we can route that and aggregate that and really give people a good deal.
And lastly, what is this integration kit that you have now published? How does that work? Can people integrate that in their community websites, or what is the reason there?
Yeah, so everything that we've done with Switch, we try to do it through a filter of what's best for the people using it. So we had a widget initially, and that just allowed people to very quickly, within 30 seconds, create a widget in an iframe and embed on their website. But there was no fee share with that. So we built in a fee share. We're going to split all fees 50-50 with the people who want to integrate Switch. And you can integrate Switch and use our backend, and you can create any front end that you want. And we're not going to, impede on your right to just advertise and market the way you want without any Switch branding whatsoever. So the SDK is there for anybody to take it and roll with it. And we split it 50-50, super fair. And we think we have the best product on Pulsechain when it comes to DEX aggregation. And, of course, I'm willing for anybody out there to put that to the test. If you guys wanted to run it through the mill and compare it to other things, I would love that.
Well, I know that Peter is scheming. I can see it in his face. He's going to release Peter Swap tomorrow, and he's going to fork all your code. He always does this. He'll appeal to, of course, the Slovakian market, which is enormous. But it is time now that Toby has shown up for a segment that we lovingly call
TA with Toby.
Is it TA time with Toby already? Alan
It is.
Says yes. Lots of movement on the charts. Brandon, I hope you have a few minutes so we can look at some charts. Please stick around. Okay, let me share screen.
Yeah, but don't watch your consuming of any food before you watch the charts.
Have a little sip of my tiniest cup and handle here.
Cheers.
All right. Cheers.
Yes,
this
the cup and handle.
It's the only cup and handle I will acknowledge.
I'm looking for something to go viral on the show, Toby. So I'll take what I get. Could be anything.
I'll take it. Fancy little cup I got in Bali 20 years ago, and I've not broken it yet.
Nice.
However, and I apologize for being late, I'm pretty sure broke my pinky toe, like as I was getting ready to come on. So
Wah,
when you look
wah,
down,
wah.
when you look down and your pinky toe is just sticking off to the side, it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's not good. It's like, go back home, little pig. So I
You just
taped it up.
Gotta yank it and get it right back in the socket like a man.
It's not dislocated. I
No
heard
crying
the
at
crack,
the
so I'm
Starbucks.
pretty sure I broke it. But yeah,
What were
so
you
next
kicking?
stop is I kicked a freaking chair leg. You know, we've all done it. It sucks.
Yeah.
But anyhow,
How's the chair leg?
Yeah, totally.
The chair leg pattern. So on to happier news. We are up a little bit from where we were last week on just looking at Pulse in particular. Barely, but pretty flat, honestly, compared to last week, if I recall. Starting off with Bitcoin, essentially, we've been looking at this gigantic white channel that goes all the way back to 2012.
One moment. Brandon, would you mind muting? Because the Starbucks staff are just like talking over Toby.
They're excited. They went in on it. They're
Thanks.
like, wait, what's that chart? Can I buy that chart? Can I buy that dip?
Yeah. Are you onboarding that staff? God damn it.
Yeah.
Tablets. Give them some tablets.
Bring them in, man. Bring them in. So anyhow, we've got this big white ascending channel that's been on Bitcoin since all the way back. There's actually touches way back to 2012, believe it or not. Here are the primary ones that we look at, which is the big bull run in 21, most recent, which was our double top there. And then coming forward, you know, a lot of support along the bottom, worked our way up, had our breakout around the election, or touched it at the election. And then again, after the inauguration, as expected, a big pullback. Came back out, fell just short of it, and then in the summer of 25, we did have several days above the white channel, which is something that had never happened in the history of Bitcoin. So that was promising. And then we had what I thought was going to be a bear trap, and we had what ended up being a bull trap. So we had a big pullback here, and then fell out of what we discovered as another channel within the white channel. And the big move down on that one is super scary, and that's the 33,000 you see a lot of people calling. So there is some confluence with those calls that could indeed be in the cards. However, as we talked about weeks ago, when we had this big capitulation dump below this newly found yellow channel, the full measured move of that would have taken us, or not the full measured move, excuse me, but a substantial stopping point for that would have been around the bottom of the white channel, which put us around 55,000, which is what I was calling for. And I said, hey, be careful. We might not get all the way to 55,000. It's highly likely we're going to get front run. And that's effectively what's happened thus far. So there was some front running on that, and we stopped short of that right around 60,000 mark, 60K mark. Came back up, looked like we were trying to, you know, again, you're always looking for patterns to kind of make sense of things. So we had this upward sloping parallel channel that we had the good recovery off of the dump, formed the top of this new channel, confirmed the bottom of that channel here, worked our way around the midline. So I was feeling pretty confident in it. And then it looks here like we dumped below it, but that could be a bear trap because we're already working and trying to get back in it. We're soundly above the 10-day moving average, and we are wicking off of the 21 exponential moving average, which is also the bottom of this yellow channel. So with some sustained recovery, you know, we could get back into this channel, maybe make a push for the top of the yellow channel, which happens to coincide with the 55 EMA. So always looking for confluences. So that would make that more likely. A possible stopping point at around 77K. I think everyone would breathe a big sigh of relief if we could make that big of a recovery, but you know, things can happen quickly, right? So that's Bitcoin. Moving over to Hex on TradingView. My pestering and whoever else has been helping me with TradingView pestering has not worked. I am doing it weekly, sometimes multiple times a week, trying to find out why they took our chart away. And hopefully something else can replace it soon. So in the meantime, we're using Powered by TradingView. I know I bitch about this every week, but it's very aggravating. So somehow TradingView is able to provide a chart for Deck Screener, but they can't do it on their primary site where people actually pay to subscribe and use their tools, whatever. So with that being said, we do have an abbreviated chart on Deck Screener available, Powered by TradingView, that started basically around the time Pulsechain launched. So this is HEX on Deck Screener. So back here to May of 23, chop sideways, had, you know, what looked like a nice ascending yellow channel. We rolled over out of that around March of 25. And essentially we found a new descending white parallel channel that we've been working along the bottom of since the end of January. So, you know, right now that still seems to be the case. I'm sorry, I don't have something better, but I mean, we're literally almost exactly where we were last Thursday. So you could just plug in last week's segment here because I have a feeling all these charts are going to look very, very similar. So we had a little price action up, a little back down. We're kind of where we were last Thursday. So moving over to PHEX, same shit, right? So I'm on a weekly candle. So you can see here, this is where we were last week. This is where we are this week. The good news is we do have a tweezer bottom, and both of those wicks came off the bottom of this white channel. That's typically a reversal, so a reversal pattern. So ideally, fingers crossed, this is a signal that we could be marching higher. The first stop I would be looking for is around the 0027 mark, which puts us soundly on the midline of this white descending channel. Next stop would take us up around 0036, which would be the 21-day exponential moving average. So that's the spots I would look for if we can get a recovery. The big thing is that we do not want to break below the white channel. So, anything, any closes above 0012 is going to be, we're hanging on to hope, right? Hanging on to hope. Not even going to entertain the downside break. Hopefully we can get this turned around, get an upside break. Upside break is the measured move of the channel is the height of the channel. And that would take us up around 2.5 cents. So I think everybody would be elated if we could make that happen here in the coming months. You guys all know my take on all of this. We're waiting on the macro. I think when the macro improves, that everything else comes with it. Moving along to Pulse, this is from the very beginning of the launch of Pulsechain. Giant orange channel that we've been working our way through for a long time. Never had fallen out of it until back in January. Very scary times. And then at that point, you start looking like, okay, well, where can we find support, right? Because we just broke support. Now what? So using St. Wolf's kind of methodology, I typically like using candle bodies. He's more inclined to use wicks. Wicks will show you like the outliers of things. I think for more consistent results, bodies show you that. But, when you're desperate, use a wick, right? We found a wick here and a wick here. And I'm like, well, hey, look at there. Actually, that shows us some potential area for support. And lo and behold, that's exactly where we found it now for 2 weeks in a row. Again, I'm on a weekly chart. So we've got weekly candles here. So if I zoom in a little bit, you'll see we closed that previous weekly candle just on that red line. And then we've got a bit of a shooting star doji. So that means that the head of it is at the top here. And then you got a long lower wick. That's usually bullish, right? So much like the other charts, hopefully this is a signal of a reversal. The big challenge now is to get back into that orange channel, which would put us around quadruple 012. So if we can get up to that, I would feel much more optimistic about us making another push up to the 21 EMA, which would be around quadruple 018. Otherwise, much like the other chart, we want to try to hold the bottom of this red channel. So you're looking at 5088. As long as we stay above that, some wicks below are going to be great, in my opinion, buying opportunities. I'm still waiting on a wire to clear. I'm actually going to be doing some DCAing soon, maybe with some of these new platforms that are available to snap up some of those bargains, in my opinion. Not financial advice. Do your own research. So we could get some big wicks down, but don't panic, right? So as long as we stay within this new white channel and don't break down and close below it, I would not see it as a failure, right? So these are wicking down below, but they're recovering back in. So that is where the traders play. So careful. Pulsex, moving right along. Pulsex, very similar situation. Again, this time I'm on a 3-day chart just to kind of show you more definitive touches. We've got multiple touches on top and bottom of this channel. We had a big wick up on the last 3-day channel that closed on February 21st, closing back within the yellow channel, which was very bullish in my opinion. Right now we got kind of a little spinning top doji. So you got the body of it right in the middle, and the upper and lower wicks are almost identical in length. So that's kind of an indecision candle. Like, which way do we go? I don't know. So obviously I'm always king of the hopium tree. Sprinkle some hopium, dopium, dopamine for everyone. Hopefully we can stay no lower than this and close the 3-day there. Weekly looks like same. Got a big shooting star on the weekly, and we're right there at the bottom of that channel. So if we could, somehow turn that into bullish, positive momentum, I'd be looking at getting up to the top of this channel. 5009. Then we go to Ink, last of the RH core.
The clown of the family.
The clown of the family, indeed. Everybody loves the baby boy.
New lows. Damn, my entry was 46 cents. Where is it now?
Well, we bounced back up. We're at 39. We're at 39, so not bad. I was so proud of myself for catching this low back in December of 23 and was just really really, really proud.
I
And catch it again.
I round trip 2
And
years
then we
of,
broke it.
of
So
gains,
we
and
do
I
have a
can
new
catch it again.
all-time low, which is around 31 cents, I believe. 30.8 cents is the new all-time low. But again, similar structures as all the other arch cores, which is not unexpected since they all kind of move together to varying degree. So, there's a little bit of variance there amongst them, but generally speaking, they all kind of move together. Same situation. We got, this is on the weekly. We got a shooting star. Looks like a reversal of that dip low down to 31 cents. We're currently at 39. So that's a pretty good recovery off the low. And we're back within this white channel. So hopefully we can get back above the midline, which is 43 cents, which coincidentally was close to the previous all-time low. And then to the top of that channel puts us around 50 cents. And then a breakout of that would put us up around the 21 EMA, which just takes us about
Hello, Cell Pressure. How are you
So,
today?
Yeah, tell me about it. So last but not least, Papa's favorite chart to look at that is Ethereum. So Ethereum, we're in a similar situation to Bitcoin that we were looking at earlier. We had the big sell-off and a big recovery the very next day. And then we started looking for a pattern to make sense of it. Same situation back when this dump was happening. I was telling everybody, hey, the bottom of this white channel is around 17K, but watch out, could get front run, just like Bitcoin. It did get front run. And we actually closed that day around 1820. So that was better than going all the way and even looking through the bottom of that white channel. And then we started to have a nice recovery and chop sideways. Looks like we got a little bit of a bear trap here for people thinking like, oh my God, we're going to go try to test that bottom again. Didn't quite get there. Stopped it around, what is that? Right around 1811. Terrible year.
It was a terrible year.
Brandon can tell you, he's a history guy. So moving right up back into the channel and currently resting within the bottom of that channel, right on the line. So if we close above where we are now on Ethereum on the daily, I would feel very bullish about that. Continuing its recovery. What we need to really do is get above that 21 EMA on the daily, and that's at $2,076. We're currently at 2,027. So, we've got about 3 or 4 hours before the day closes. So if we closed above that 2080 level, I would feel confident that we're going to continue to work our way back up this channel. So speed round, I think I nailed it.
You did.
Awesome. Thank you.
Nice. Toby, you did it.
I did it. Hurrah.
All right, Brand, we got to unmute Brandon. There he is. How's the situation at Starbucks? Everybody's still happy?
It's getting a little squirrely over here, gentlemen.
Overcaffeinated.
Okay, in
They're
closing,
tapping on their watch, telling you that you've been at the table too long. Yeah.
In closing, last question, because that's also what Sunlight has put here in the chat. What happens March 1st on the Clarity Act news? And again, now over a year into the Trump presidency, because we all know you have been, very excited about him winning the election. You have been at one of the fundraisers with a bunch of guys from the community back then. What are your thoughts on the Clarity Act and his performance so far when it comes to what we're interested in the most, the cryptocurrency market? Or did you expect more? Or is it all just fine?
It's everybody's, again, everybody's just kind of, they're searching for some narrative to latch on to turn the markets around. I don't think Clarity Act's going to be as significant as people think. I really don't. It's just going to give, traditional finance and Silicon Valley and all these other folks more of a green light to take over cryptocurrency. And it's not anything like it used to be. So ultimately, what's that do for our bags? That probably is good for our bags because there's going to be more companies that are willing to take a risk without getting bit in the ass by the SEC in 3 years or 4 years with the new administration. So
maybe just the banks, right? Because the pump and dumpers, they say, hey, this is going to bring in trillions and trillions of dollars into the market, which could just be the banks doing stable coins.
Yeah, and like if BlackRock cared about the Clarity Act, they wouldn't have bought so much Bitcoin over the past 24 months. So it's like, but ultimately, like, again, if you're in it for the tech, it just hurts crypto even more. But if you're in it for bags going up, it'll contribute to a turnaround. We need to get this out of the way to look for the next thing. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, shall we wrap it up here, guys? Or do you have any unfinished business, Toby, Papa B? Peter is sleeping already.
He's going
I'm gonna have to
into
go
his
back and watch from the
hibernation
top.
mode to drop the bear
Hibernation.
market.
Brandon, thank
Very
you so much for
interesting
coming back onto the show. And please think about picking up your streaming a little bit, because I have a feeling people are really wanting to see that again.
You might see it pretty soon here. So
Aha.
been busy, but I'm not going to be as busy now. So we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, you're always welcome back on the
DJ,
show, Papa B.
don't forget.
Yes.
Speaking of picking up streaming, we've got our Saturday thing.
Oh my God!
Chill. Don't forget.
Saturday is another big show, because for the first time we finally managed to get get a date together that works for everybody with the guys from the Creed of Crypto, who've been running their weekly show as long as we have every Wednesday night. Very bullish still about the Richard Hart ecosystem, carrying the torch as much as we do. So for the first time this Saturday, because they cannot stream when we're streaming and we can't when they, so that's the first time we managed to get it to work. So this Saturday at our usual time slot here, 3 p.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock European time in the evening, we'll be streaming this Saturday a special episode with the Creed of Crypto. And also I want to point everybody's attention one more time to what EcoBuilder has got going on with the Pulsechain reality TV situation in El Salvador. That's coming up soon. Follow at Noob Decentral on the X for more information on that. If you're a rich Hexican, they're still looking for donations to cover flight expenses for some of the participants. Also now they've put for very little fee, if you have a coin or you have a website or a project on Pulsechain, if you want your logo on the shirts of the participants as they film themselves going through these daily tasks that they're doing, you can donate a small fee to at Noob Decentral. Wallet is in their Twitter biography, and then you can have your logo on the shirts. And tell you what,
can't we just send them a What the Heck shirt?
I did that already. I sacrificed some of our super chat money.
Oh, nice.
And the What the Heck's logo will be on the t-shirts. Sorry, Peter. one less schnitzel, but we have our logo on the on the reality TV show. So we're supporting that initiative, and I hope some of you guys do as well. And we lost Brandon. Here it is. Brandon, you have the last word. Where can people find you, follow you, should they want to?
At the Starbucks, of course.
Don't like it at Starbucks.
Yes.
Next time is going to be Waffle House. I told you guys.
Here we go. All right.
Nice.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
No, I was going to say, if you so choose, you can find me at Brandon-R2R on Twitter, and check out switch.win, which is objectively the best aggregator on Pulsechain, on Base
It is,
and Ethereum.
And we're not shitting on Piteers one more time, because Piteers is the OG of aggregators, but we like Switch. We don't swap, we switch.
Yeah.
Pointing to AgorX soon, I hope.
Yeah, we got to get that liquidity up. But that's something that's we're monitoring that situation. Very political answer there.
Okay.
That's right. And Alan Fizmay is filling up the tip jar again. Thank you very much for the $2 US for the t-shirt money.
That's
there we
golden
go.
money.
All right, smash the likes, hit the follow button, share this stream out. We got 100 people watching right now. Thanks for coming through, everybody. Brandon's links are all down in the description. And we see you guys on Saturday. So 2 episodes of What the Hex this week. Stay tuned. All right, you guys. What the Hex? Outro.